Here, Joey Spencer, as you saw his opponent, Brandon Harder, who has an MMA background and a really interesting background, as Heidi references some of the different jobs he's had in his career. He doesn't see boxing as his profession. He calls it more of an inspiration for other people. But he'll have a challenge on his hand with the up-and-comer Joey Spencer as you check out the tail of the tape. You see that age difference that Heidi was referencing moments ago. And to our ring announcer now, and Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues here in Los Angeles. 4 rounds in the super welterweight division. Your 3 judges scoring this bout at ringside will be Eddie Hernandez Sr., Chris McGlure, and Alejandro Rochin. Your referee in charge, when the bell sounds, is Tom Taylor. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he comes in wearing the black trunks, weighing officially at 153 pounds. His record, 2 wins, 1 of those coming by way of knockout against 1 defeat. From Southaven, Mississippi, ladies and gentlemen, here is Brandon Harder. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. He comes in wearing the black trunks striped with the gold, weighing in officially at already 155 pounds. As a professional, he's undefeated, 5 wins, all of those coming by way of knockouts. Fighting out of Union City, California, by way of Linden, Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the fast rising and undefeated Joey Spencer. And referee in charge, here to give instructions, Tom Taylor.
Come on in, Chief. Got a mouth guard? Mouth guard. All right. Belt lines are good, gentlemen, on both sides. Gave you instructions in the back. Protect yourselves at all times. Listen to my commands. Touch them up. Back to your corner.
Spencer, who had his first pro fight, beating Uriel Gonzalez. That was in Mandalay Bay in February of 2018. His last fight, September 30th. He beat 41-year-old Corey Mencken. That was in Ontario, California. Took him out in the first round. Here we go. Scheduled for 4. They'll use up the energy and watch Harder. He said 4 rounds is a blink.
Yeah, he said he was going to move on Joey. He don't think he can catch him. He's going to move on him, stinking move, and make it a tough fight for him.
Harder, the former firefighter, policeman, undercover detective at one time. His wife, who will make her debut next month, is in his corner, works with him as a trainer and manager.
I wouldn't want to be in that household at night if it was something going on. You know, but look, we talked to him and said, I admire him as a man. He was a private detective, undercover cop, went undercover. He's a fireman. He was a fireman. I mean, he's done it all. Can't have nothing but admiration for Brandon Harder. But, you know, to be coming in at 39 years old, fighting guys like Joey, I admire it, but I don't know if it's the smartest thing.
But Harder said, I'm a mover. I'm smaller. And thinks he can make Spencer work.
He's shaking his head. Every time he shakes his head, it means that he did something to him.
Dancing a little.
What's going to happen is Joey's, you know, very well trained and, you know, pro at this point, upcoming pro. He's going to shorten the distance. He's going to shorten distance as the fight goes on.
Had 100 fights as an amateur, Spencer, so plenty of experience. They made the decision, him and his father, to go professional at this point at age 18.
And Harder is cut, I think, on open.
Already, yeah, Harder looks like there's
I thought there was
some
blood.
damage.
Yeah, it's blood on top of his head.
If he had more hair, it'd cover it up. A miss from Spencer with his left, but he looked like he landed that body blow from the right-hand side.
Some mind games going on right now. You know, Brandon Harder's laughing at him. Joey's just laughing back, smacking him.
Yeah, I mean, this is fun for Harder. That left misses. Spencer, remember, he's primarily a lefty. First time fighting a southpaw as a pro. Now, look at that. You can see more of that blood on the head of Brandon Harder.
It shouldn't make a big difference because it's in the it's on the head, and it shouldn't get in his eye.
Let me see it.
Now, Taylor.
Accidental headbutt on top of the head. We got blood. Let's go. Watch your heads, guys.
You heard our referee clarify the accidental headbutt. There's a jab from Spencer with that left. And Harder digs with his right. To the head. Sets up the left. Spencer glides a left between the gloves. A little bit of a shove with the backhand.
I think Harden is getting out of his game plan. What he said he was going to do is box.
Down.
And that's it.
Five, 6, 7, 8. You all right? Come to me. You want to continue? Give me your gloves. Ring the bell. Time.
Down. Officially a knockdown to end round 1. Joey Spencer. The wife of Brandon Harder, Michelle, who we said will make her boxing debut in a couple of months, working in his corner. The headbutt causing the blood, then the knockdown at the end of round 1. Joey Spencer put Harder down. Spencer recently graduated high school, was homeschooled since his junior year. As Michelle, wife of Harder, looking on.
Stop.
Stumble into the ropes.
Hey, I got it. Don't lead them though for me, all right? Hey, keep the head up.
Referee Tom Taylor taking control of this.
You get admired the fighting spirit of Brandon Harder. You know, he's coming out, he's trying to make a show of it. He's doing the best he can do, but he's just overwhelmed. There you go.
Into the ropes and down on his knees.
4, 5.
Could
6,
he take a punch? That was
7,
the question. He's up, saying he can. He said he's been through a lot.
You gotta show me something here, all right? Protect yourself, all right? Let's go.
I think he's just in there having fun.
Yeah, he remember said boxing is a way to inspire people. A miss from Spencer.
But here's the problem with that. He's getting hit on top of the head. Those are the punches that mess you up, have long-term effect down the road.
With the equilibrium.
Spencer charging, stopping, aggressive, a flurry. As Harder balanced it down on his knees again. And now
3,
sitting on the canvas.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're done.
We're done. It's over. 3 times down in round 2. And Joey Spencer, the teenager. Not a lot of fights, but all successful. An
6-0, 6 knockouts.
Interesting opponent.
I'd like to see him step up now in opposition. He's kicking fight. He's only fight 4 rounders. Move up to 6 and fight better opposition. He's fighting a lot of guys who've been older, a lot older than him, not just a little, a lot older. Let's start getting in some guys that are closer to his age and see what he can do.
Definitely.
Obviously, when you're a teenager, you're going to fight mostly older opponents, but good point. How much can we really gauge from a former firefighter, police officer, MMA, boxing hobby from Brian Harder, who couldn't hang in with Joey Spencer, down 3 times. And a show of sportsmanship, Joey Spencer, Brian Harder, officially a 2nd round knockout. Spencer, who plans to fight at least 4 more times this year. And Harder, who wanted to get in his face and at least go 4 rounds with high energy, couldn't hang in there against Spencer. Checking our total punches thrown, and you can see the aggressive nature of Spencer. And Harder, who was on the move, took a few knees. Seemed like the entire time he's doing more kneeling than he was fighting. Looking at the power punches here, as Spencer, the more polished boxer, the total jabs thrown 30-5, landing 33% of those, and controlling this fight to improve his undefeated record and back into Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes 1 minute 27 seconds of the 2nd round for your winner by knockout and remaining perfect, Joey Spencer.
Ray Mancini, Anthony Durrell ringside with me, and I'll start with you, Ray. Not much of a gauge of an opponent for Joey Spencer, but what did you see out of him that you did like?
No, I obviously Joey can fight. He can punch. He's got, you know, he's a strong kid. But you just said this fight told us nothing. So I want to see him step up. He's been prospect of the year, voted by the fans last year. He can fight. Let's step him up. Let's turn him loose. But look, he was controlled. He was controlled in there. He didn't get, he didn't get too excited. So he did his job.
He definitely has to step his game up. You're only as good as your opponent, and he's got to step his game up and really test him and see where he's at, you know, even for a mental standpoint.
He's on the right track, wants a title fight within 2 to 3 years. So let's hear from him. Heidi is standing by with Joey Spencer.
Thank you very much, Chris. Congratulations to you, Joey. We can see why you were voted the PBC Prospect of the Year. What do you want the fans to know about you?
Just I give my all every time I get in the ring, and I always work hard, and I always want to put on a show for the fans.
Well, you did that tonight, but it seemed like you had a lot of respect for your opponent. Some words said. What was said after the fight?
Oh, after the fight, it was just thanks for taking the fight, thanks for giving me a good fight, thanks for giving it your all. You know, you got to respect that. You know.
Anthony Durrell just mentioned something about you're only as good as your opponent. Do you feel as though you have faced a big test in your career yet?
No, not really. You're gonna get more and more tests in my career as I go, and I believe that I'll rise to the level of my competition. And sometimes you're in there against an awkward guy, and you can be even more uncomfortable than if you were in there with the seasoned guy. So when I get in there with a test, I know that I'm gonna rise to that. Yeah.
I know you said you want to fight 4 more times this year. Is the goal to move to 6 rounds next?
Yes, the goal is to move to 6th round next. That's in the plans, and I think that's gonna happen, and I'm looking forward to it.